Hello, I'm looking at episode number 507 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. We are here, WrestleMania, Night 2. Obviously, Night 1 was last night, and what a night it was. Cody Rhodes and Gunther, 99. Rated main event. Cody Rhodes still the WWE Champion. We also saw the crowning of a new Women's World Champion. Dakota Kai finally toppling the Queendom era, ending the reign of Io Sky at WrestleMania. But of course tonight is the season finale. We've got more big time matches, including our main event, the 4 Horsewomen Fatal 4-Way. Becky Lynch defends the WWE Women's Championship against Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, and Bayley. We have Roman Reigns winning the ECW Championship against Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso. We've got Swerve Scott and Ilya Dragunov for the World Heavyweight Championship. Edge in his final match against Christian. And of course, opening up the show, Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. Of course, we saw the pre-show just now. Bronson Steiner winning the WrestleMania Women's Battle... the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And Axiom is the new Cruiserweight Champion. So without any more further ado, let's see what the rest of the night has in store for us. That's Kathy Kelly. Okay, that's supposed to be Kathy Cool, but it's Kathy Kelly. To America, Too Beautiful. Kathy Cool sings America Beautiful once again. Kathy Kelly does a fantastic job. Actually, no, maybe we can just pretend this is Samantha, because Samantha can actually sing. Sorry, Kathy, if you can as well. I've never heard you, but yeah. WrestleMania Baby Woo hype video again. If it's there, it's there. You've seen it. If it's not, I ran out of time. Angle. Seth Rollins, CM Punk, you know. See, how did we get here? How did CM Punk end up back in WWE? Well, within the WWE lore. Like, we obviously can't go into everything why CM Punk ended up back in WWE. But we can talk about the Royal Rumble, Chicago, 10 years after he walked out. Punk made his return at number 40 in front of his hometown crowd. Seth Rollins, eliminated by CM Punk, came back, eliminated him. You know, costing each other the main events of WrestleMania. So here we are, the opening match of WrestleMania 40. Rollins says he wants to cut this cancer back out of WWE and nobody needs him around. It's time to see if he can do it. Of course, here we are with Night 2 of the biggest WrestleMania of all time, and what a way to kick it off than with an entrance 11 years in the making.
Making his way to the ring from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 228 pounds, CM Punk.
I never thought I'd see the day that CM Punk makes his way down to the ring at WrestleMania once again. But here we are, it's 2024, hell has frozen over, and here comes the best in the world. Punk, of course, returning back into the Royal Rumble in his hometown of Chicago. He ended that match at number 40, eliminating his opponent for the night, Seth Rollins, on that night. But Seth Rollins, you know, wasn't a very happy camper about that. He ended up going back into the ring, costing Punk his opportunity at that WrestleMania main event that's eaten away at him his entire career. So Punk said, you know what, Seth, if we can't main event this year, how about tonight on WrestleMania Sunday, we kick off the damn show and we steal it before it can even get going. And I think they may do just that. Of course, it's never going to feel right seeing this man come down to the ring in a WWE ring after all those years away. And everything that he's been through and everything he said and did. But one man who hasn't forgotten about any of that is his opponent here tonight, who says, we don't want you, we don't need you, and I'm going to cut you out before you can spread your cancer to the rest of the locker room. And of course, Seth Rollins has had that WrestleMania main event. Last year, he carried the WWE Championship into the main event of the show, defending against Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns in a triple threat match. Tonight, he's opening the show, and he's the man responsible for CM Punk's continued drought in the main event of WrestleMania. But Seth, this is all about more than main eventing WrestleMania. This is about what he believes to be a betrayal, and what he believes to be justice, sticking up for the entire WWE on behalf of those too afraid to speak out about the cancer that he calls CM Punk. Well, holy shit. So, Big Phil here, you know, as is the CM Punk life story. He was very questionable going into this show. I don't know, like, how he was gonna do, because I've not ever seen a rating of him in this save, because he doesn't get a rating for the Royal Rumble. That's the only match he's had. So, I didn't know what to expect from this match. Obviously, it's Seth, you know, the god, well, not Kyle O'Reilly, but, like, actually main event, like, protagonist of the challenge run stuff. So, obviously, I was expecting it to be at least in the blues. But I didn't know if Phil was gonna be washed or not. He gets a 79 rated in-ring performance to Seth's 100, and they've got pretty good chemistry. So he's not washed, but he's also not like, and he's also got, like, needs to get his pop up and his momentum and shit up. But he's not like Kyle O'Reilly good. But the match gets a 99. So yeah, casual 99 for Big Phil on his first match back, and you know they're fighting it out. You know, it's a bit of fight. They're exchanging forearms of each other. Seth stomps Punk, he kicks out. GTS kick out, and the finish comes. Rollins has got Punk down. He's conducting the crowd, going, "Oh, whoa." He backs into the corner. He says, "Now I'm gonna cut this cancer out for good." He runs up for another curb stomp, and as he jumps up for the stomp, Punk catches him onto his shoulders. He hits the go to sleep. And he pins Seth Rollins. Yet another big match loss for Seth here at WrestleMania. And yeah, CM Punk is victorious. 2 900 WrestleMania matches in a row for Seth. And for Cody. So, no pressure, Roman. But yeah. 79 for Punk, 100 for Seth. And Big Phil does win his first match at WrestleMania in 11 years. But then cut back. LA Knight's there. And he's chilling with Stone Cold Steve Austin. He goes, "Hey, you know, last night, you know, managed to help me get a heads up over that asshole, The Rock. You know, I know you've had your thing with him in the past. That's why I had to say, you know, I think it was pretty cool. WrestleMania 40, the megastar, and quite possibly the most successful star in the history of WWE, Stone Cold Steve Austin, sharing a beer in that ring. Yeah." He's like, "What? Yeah. What? Yeah. What? Yeah. What? Yeah. What?" Etc. You know, I had to get the "yeah what" segment on WrestleMania 40, and there it is. Haha, laugh. They're sipping beer.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
A big moment here at WrestleMania, as this man looks to finally break into that upper echelon on Monday Night Raw.
Making his way to the ring, representing the New Day from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 205 pounds, Xavier Woods.
Of course, an event synonymous with the New Day and World Championship success. Who could forget Kofi Mania 5 years ago in New Jersey? Who could forget 2 years ago Big E winning the World Heavyweight Championship? But tonight it won't be World Championship glory for Xavier Woods, but he looks to take that next step to eventual World Championship glory and filling that New Day prophecy, as he calls it. But to get there, he's going to have to scratch that one itch, defeat that one man that he just cannot seem to beat. That being this man, a former 4-time world champion, Drew McIntyre. course, Broken Dreams, a rather apt theme song for Drew McIntyre here tonight, because that looks to be exactly what he does to Xavier Woods, because he defended that WWE Championship against him twice late last year, and that's what really made Xavier Woods know, hey, this is the mountain I have to overcome. This is the man I need to beat, the biggest hurdle on my quest to becoming World Heavyweight Champion. And can he get it done? 84. Okay, apparently this was too long, because apparently neither Xavier Woods or Drew McIntyre have very good psychology. But I disagree, because the story of this match is very simple to tell. It was September last year. Xavier Woods really wanted to propel himself to the top of Raw. He challenged Gunther. He came up short against Gunther. His first big defeat was against Gunther. And then he was trying his hardest to get on top of Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre was telling him, you're never going to make it to the top. You haven't got what it takes. You're not that guy. And Drew defended the WWE title against him a couple of times. But now Woods is back on the grandest stage. The more he looks like he's going to prove to himself, to prove to Drew and to the world that he can be a top guy. He can overcome that mountain that's been standing in his way as he tries to climb to the top of Raw. And it's the greatest underdog story in Philadelphia ever told. I can't think of any other. But yes, Xavier Woods, he's flying in on him. He's uppercutting him. He's hitting elbow drops and shit. But nothing's putting Drew McIntyre down. And then Drew backs away. He hits a headbutt on Woods. 3, 2, 1. Claymore. 1, 2. And Woods is away. And he gets up. He goes, just give up, Woods. You're never going to beat me. You're never going to beat me. He uppercuts Drew McIntyre. He gets all fired up. He's hitting a big comeback. He's hitting the honor roll. He goes up top. He goes to hit that limit break elbow when Drew McIntyre swipes him out of the air with a Claymore and pins him. So close. Yet so far. He came up short again. He just couldn't get it done. 91 for Drew McIntyre, 84 for Xavier Woods. And then after the match, Drew's left. Woods gets to his feet. The crowd's giving him a standing ovation. Kofi and Big E, they come out, they hug him. They go, it's okay, Tonight wasn't your night, but you proved to the world that you can hang in there with Drew McIntyre tonight, Next time you'll get him for sure, Just don't give up, with the power of positivity for a reason. Woods, everybody believes in you. We all believe in you. This isn't the end of your journey to the top of Raw. This isn't the end of your quest to become world champion. This is just the beginning. Don't worry about Drew McIntyre. You'll cross paths with Drew McIntyre again, I'm sure of it. And when you're on that level, you'll get back in the ring of Drew and you'll beat him. But for now, look around you, listen to this ovation. And everyone shouting, thank you, Woods, or yeah, you deserve it, and clapping him. And Woods, he sort of is still upset that he didn't win. But obviously he can feel the mana in this building, for lack of a better term. And he's all fired up. He goes, yeah, you know what? I will be back. I will be back. I will be world champion. You can count on it. And then New Day will leave together. Because they're never breaking up. Because I'm not a miserable human being.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE United States Championship.
First piece of championship action here on WrestleMania Sunday, and it's the WrestleMania return of a bastard. That man right there, Neville, last time we saw him at WrestleMania, he was the king of the cruiserweights. He was cruiserweight champion 7 years ago. He left the company a couple of months after that. He's toured around the world. He's been a world champion in America. But now he's back here. He was the last member of that tournament. Nick Aldis' secret signing in that United States Championship tournament. And tonight, he's in the final. He's got the chance to become the United States champion. And after just 2 months back in WWE, could win a piece of championship gold at WrestleMania. Of course, his opponent tonight, Pistolero, somebody that can actually match Neville in the aerial-based offense. You know, Neville, they used to call him the man that gravity forgot, and he sure as hell hasn't forgotten any of those maneuvers in his 7 years away from the company. He's used those maneuvers to capture World Championship gold everywhere he's gone. But Pistolero is somebody who can be put himself on that level, can go toe-to-toe with the aerial-based offense of the man that gravity forgot. Pistolero, though, from Death from Above, the man many are calling the unlikeliest United States Champion in WWE history. Let's not forget when he won that championship back in January, he defeated Solo Sikoa for that title. Obviously, albeit during the interference from Jimmy and Jay Uso, allowing Pistolero to win the belt. But Pistolero defeating Solo and becoming champion was not something a lot of people saw coming. And Pistolero now reigns as the champion, heading into WrestleMania. But again, he has a very tough opposition in his way in Neville. He wants to keep a hold of that belt. This is Pistolero's second year on the WrestleMania stage. Last year he was a part of the Cruiserweight Trio Championship match, where he, alongside Grand Metalik and Lindsay Dorado of Death from Above, retained their Trio Championships on that night against MSK. Can tonight he make it 2-0 at defending championships on the grandest stage of them all? We're about to find out. And put the thing with Pistolero being under that mask is you can't really get a good read on his expression. You gotta imagine there's a mixture of nerves and confidence tonight, because he is the United States Champion for a reason. But you're always nervous at WrestleMania, and you're always nervous when you're up against a man like the bastard Neville.
Introducing the challenger from Newcastle upon Tyne, England, weighing in at 217 pounds, Neil! And his opponent from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, weighing in at 206 pounds, the WWE United States Champion, Crystal Eric O.
As Pistolero hands the championship gold over to Jessica Carr. Tonight, our first championship match on the main show. We've got 5 of them to get through. Let's do this. 91. Yeah, apparently there was a lack of psychology, you know? But whatever, I disagree. Neville and Pistolero. Neville made his surprise return as the final member of Nick Aldis' side of the bracket to crown the #1 contender for the US title. He beat David Martin, he beat Nebo Barnes, and he beat Jacob Fatu to get here. All of those matches scored blue ratings. Another blue rating for Neville here. He gets an 87, Pistolero gets a 93. And in 1441, we do have a new United States Champion. It's Neville. He taps out Pistolero with the Rings of Saturn. 93 again, yeah, 93 Pistolero, 87 for Neville. And a new era of SmackDown gets underway with the bastard. We've got 3 new champions over on SmackDown. 4 technically if you count the women's tag titles, but they technically are supposed to float. We've got a new United States Champion, we've got a new Women's World Champion, we've got new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. So yeah, no pressure, Swerve. From a championship action, we now return to grudge matches.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from Elmwood Park, New Jersey, Liv Morgan!
Former best friends with Morgan and Hikaru Shida had become one of the greatest women's tag teams we've ever seen in WWE over the last few years, but it is a strange twist of fate and some jealousy mixed in with some miscommunication led to this grudge match here tonight. Because Hikaru Shida was the one who took out Liv Morgan back at Holiday Hell in December. And ever since then, she was looking out for Liv. And she eliminated her from the Royal Rumble so not to aggravate the injury. She took her out of the Elimination Chamber, with Shida taking that spot in the Elimination Chamber. Liv called it manipulative. Shida called it smart, but all in all, tensions boil over.
Kanagawa, Japan.
Tensions boil over to where we are tonight, where two former best friends who actually defended the Women's Tag Team Championships at this event last year enter this year's event enemies. And as that trusty kendo stick, Shida's used that many times to whip the assault on Liv Morgan. But tonight, she's not going to have it at hand, because there is disqualifications in this match, so she will be disqualified for using that kendo stick. But even in a fair fight, Shida is one of the very best when she's inside those four ropes. And tonight, can Shida prove that she's better than her former best friend? 75, Liv and Shida, their grudge match. They were a tag team for over a year. They became friends in late 2022. I think they were both beefing with, was it Damage Control or was it somebody else? Because were they not on Raw? And Damage Control were never on Raw unless they came over to float and defend the tag belts. I can't remember. It might have been Rhea, it might have been somebody else. But they were both beefing with somebody, and they sort of formed an alliance. Then they formed a tag team called Live for Battle. They defended the belts at WrestleMania last year. The women's tag titles, that is. But this year it's all falling apart. Jealousy got in the way, reared its ugly head. Liv Morgan got attacked by Shida back at High Voltage before we knew who did it. And, she was trying to get that opportunity, and Shida thought she was trying to help Liv by taking her out to saving her embarrassment. And here we are tonight at WrestleMania, a friendship torn apart. And in 13 minutes and 4 seconds, the winner is Hikaru Shida. She pins Liv with the Tamashi to, score the win here on the grandest stage of them all. 69 for Liv, 87 for Shida.
Y'all know what time it is. This the part where we crank it up. Let's crank it up. Now here we go. People over there, what's up? You feel me? Stand up and say what's up. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? You can get with this, or you can get with that. You better get with this, cause this is where's that? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? See, I be skipping and jumping, leaving the competition. I make them disappear like your favorite magician. And I ride it till the wheel fall off. I bounce back to back till they necks get soft. Most of the time you see me, I'm being simple. Give me the times I'll be busting them up like a pimple. Stating my claim to fame, to be one of the baddest young brothers step foot in this game. And I haven't even started yet. You can better believe I take it off the show shot bet. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
R-Truth channeling his childhood hero here tonight, as his childhood dream is about to come true. He's going to team up with John Cena for the chance to become Raw's Tag Team Champions. And the mood always changes on the grandest stage of them all, when the greatest of all time graces us with his presence. John Cena, of course, not a member of Titus World Records, despite, how much we may want him to be. John Cena is here to, team of R-Truth, because every other member of Titus World Records, that being Shanky, Elias, Titus O'Neil himself, has been taken out by either Pretty Deadly or the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Partners in Prime. And John Cena so happened to be in the town in Los Angeles. He's made John Cena's childhood wish come true. And now tonight, he may end up walking out of WrestleMania as champion. Not unless this man's got anything to say about it. Of course, there are the Raw Tag Team Champions. They are Logan Paul and KSI. They are boxers. They are influencers. They are YouTubers. And tonight, they are champions. Logan Paul, of course, signed here WWE. A signed WWE superstar. He wrestled Dolph Ziggler at WrestleMania last year. That was a big opportunity for him. Him bringing in his own business partner KSI to capture Raw Tag Team Championship gold. Tonight, they're making their way down the aisle at the grandest stage of them all as Tag Team Champions. There are the titles that one of these two teams will hold come the end of the night.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall, and it's for the Raw Tag Team Championship. Introducing the challengers at a combined weight of 471 pounds. The team of R-Truth and John Cena. And their opponents at a combined weight of 387 pounds. Logan Paul and the Nightmare KSI.
YouTubers and influencers walking around with those championships. There is a lot of positives that do come with that, but for some men, it could be considered disrespectful. Let's see who leaves tonight with these belts. 82. Right. Believe it or not, R-Truth was the problem here. Not KSI. R-Truth. Because apparently he hasn't got the stamina to do a 13-minute tag match where he's not going to spend all the time in the ring. He's just going to stand on the ropes and look funny. And be funny, because he's R-Truth. But yeah, the partners in Prime won those Raw Tag Team Championships back in Dublin from R-Truth and Shanky. They took out all of the other members of Titus World Records ahead of WrestleMania. But John Cena has stepped in to come to the aid of the man who calls him his childhood hero, R-Truth. And yeah, Cena is running rampant. He hits his... We get the stereo comeback spot where R-Truth hitting the 5 moves of doom on KSI. Cena's hitting him on Logan. Double 5-knuckle shuffle. They get them both up for the AA. R-Truth AA's KSI, but Logan Paul lands on his feet. He insecurities John Cena. And then, yeah, they're continuing the fight. Logan's down, he's taking a breather. When one of those damn idiots from Logan Paul's entourage puts those brass knuckles on the fist of the Maverick, he gets to his feet. He spins R-Truth's jaw with a big lucky punch. And he pins R-Truth to retain the Raw Tag Team Championships. The partners in Prime, still your Raw Tag Team Champions. 55 for KSI, 81 for Logan Paul, 64 for R-Truth, and 80 for John Cena. Yeah. Technically, KSI now has a WrestleMania victory over John Cena in the books. John Cena's catalogue of WrestleMania opponents includes The Rock, Randy Orton, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Babatunde, KSI, Kushida. Yeah, but yes, Logan Paul and KSI do retain the championships. Hype video. Swerve won the World Heavyweight Champion. He'd only been World Heavyweight Champion for 6 weeks. He won it thanks to The Rock back in the Elimination Chamber. And obviously with LA Knight busy feuding with The Rock because of that screw job, we needed a new challenger. And that's when up stepped Ilya Dragunov. And the two MVPs of SmackDown are going head to head for the World Heavyweight Championship here. It's been a rather intense feud really quickly. You know, it's going to take to kill either man to keep either man down. So let's see who has that stronger iron will. Before I click next segment, this match probably will either get a 100, but I know this game, so this game's probably only going to give it like a 91.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the World Heavyweight Championship!
World Championship action, a first of 3 tonight. And this could be the show stealer, as this man looks to end his journey by finally becoming world champion. Ilya Dragunov got here tonight. He defeated Seth Rollins back on SmackDown 6 weeks ago to earn the right to challenge Swerve Scott for this World Heavyweight Championship. And over the last 6 weeks, these two men have exchanged a war of words. They're going to have to kill either of them to keep them down tonight. So one thing is for sure, this is not going to be pretty, as both of these men are willing to go to 8 different layers of hell to walk out of Philadelphia as the World Heavyweight Champion. Of course, Ilya Dragunov last year, also in the World Heavyweight Championship match on that night, he was in a fatal 4-way alongside Gunther, W. Davis, and Pete Dunne. Swerve walked into last year's event United States Champion. This year he walks in World Heavyweight Champion after a national number rise this year. And these two men, in many ways, at least on the men's side, were destined to be battled in WrestleMania because they have been SmackDown's 2 men's MVPs of at least the last 6 months. So it's very appropriate that tonight, on the 40th WrestleMania, Ilya Dragunov stares down the camera and he says, "I'm looking at you, Swerve. I'm leaving here tonight with that World Heavyweight Championship, and there's not a damn thing you can do to stop me." But the only thing that's funny about those words from Ilya Dragunov is I can think of another person who'd say something very similar, that being the World Heavyweight Champion himself, who's got a lot more to prove than Ilya Dragunov because of the dubious means by which he won that championship. And there is our World Heavyweight Champion, Swerve Scott. He won that championship back at the Elimination Chamber in Dublin in February from LA Knight. But here's the kicker about that, it's still eating at Swerve this day. He won that championship due to The Rock. The Rock was a special guest referee. He screwed LA Knight over, and we saw how that ended last night. But Swerve, he can hear the people saying that you didn't win it. He can hear the critics saying you don't deserve it. But to Swerve, that's all white noise because he knows he deserved it. And tonight is his chance to prove that he is everything that he says he is, and that he is the rightful World Heavyweight Champion. Of course, Lord Bando by his side. No sign of Bronco Nemo reaching place here tonight. But Lord Bando, of course, will accompany his boy Swerve anywhere he goes. It's been quite the year for Swerve. You know, this time last year he walked into WrestleMania United States Championship as a member of Hit Row. Him and Hit Row had their falling out and went their separate ways last fall, forming the Mogul Embassy alongside Lord Bando, Bronco Nemo, and Lucian Price to becoming World Heavyweight Champion, sharing the ring with The Rock, sharing the ring with LA Knight, taking that One Heavyweight Championship from him to tonight, where we could see the most physical, the most brutal World Championship match in the history of WrestleMania.
Introducing the challenger from Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 187 pounds, Ilya Dragunov. And his opponent from Tacoma, Washington, weighing in at 233 pounds, the World Heavyweight Champion, Swerve Scott.
And that right there is indeed what it's all about. That championship over the shoulder of Swerve. 2 men on the very, very top of their game. But only one man can walk out of WrestleMania as the World Heavyweight Champion. And we're gonna find out who it is, but one thing's for damn sure, you're not gonna want to miss this. 98. Okay. So it didn't get 100, but, you know, it wasn't too far off, only 2 points off. But yeah, Swerve and Ilya. I mentioned when I booked this match initially, when I first announced this, that I had no idea who was going to win. As we got closer to WrestleMania, I started leaning one way over the other. But when I tell you, when I was booking this show, when I was sat there for like 10, 15 minutes, tossing around, choosing, because I don't like leaving it up to the game, because leaving it up to the game means, like, I haven't got anything further planned out. Like, because I've just got to wing it and go with whatever the game tells me. And, like, that's not how I like to do it. I like to know where I'm going off of every single thing. So I had to sit there and I had to brainstorm the ideas for if Swerve wins, if Ilya wins, and then eventually had to pick one. But yeah, the match is exactly what you'd imagine it would be. They throw fucking everything at each other. There's blood in it. You know, there's probably 2 Swerve stomps that Ilya kicks out of. H-bombs out the arse that Swerve's kicking out of. You can't keep either man down. But eventually one man does have to go down. And they get a spot, you know, where they run into each other with a double clothesline, take each other down. And they're both either sides of the ring, blood dripping down their faces, getting to their feet, ready to go to war with each other. And then Ilya Dragunov just collapses to the floor. Swerve climbs up top, he hits that Swerve stomp. And finally, that is enough to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. 96 for Swerve, 89 for Ilya, 98 for the match. And Swerve keeps a hold of the World Heavyweight Champion. He's the only SmackDown champion to have retained his belt. And yeah, big win for Big Swerve, who continues his run as the World Heavyweight Champion. As for Ilya Dragunov, I'm sure we'll see him in a World Championship match once again somewhere down the line, but tonight, on the grandest stage of them all, just wasn't his night. Chase U. Andre Chase is doing a pep rally in Philly. And, you know, it's been filmed earlier in the week. Chase U are marching through the streets of Philadelphia. It's like Vindaloo all over again. They're waving the Chase U banners in the sky. They're all wearing Chase U shirts. They're waving flags. And they're marching towards the link. And we then fade from that into the entrances. And I imagine the big Chase U entrance, obviously I can't do it in the clip you're about to see, but there's like an army of Chase U students, you know, because they're coming. Like, think like all the old John Cena entrances, where there'd be like about 1 million John Cenas and like 1 million different like Make-A-Wish kids, and there's like there's just a bunch of Chase U guys on the stage, ushering Andre Chase, Shane Reynolds, Keith Lee, and Dexter Lumis to the ring, as the fate of their university is on the line. And here they come, fresh out of the university, fresh off the streets of Philadelphia, looking to save the day.
On the way to the ring, accompanied by Thea Hale at a combined weight of 468 pounds, Andre Chase and Shane Reynolds.
Of course, the official Chase U lineup that is here tonight is Andre Chase and Shane Reynolds. Brody Hayward, of course, taken out of action by the D'Angelo family in the build to this matchup. The D'Angelo family who currently own the land upon which Chase University is built. So this is do or die. This could be the last time Chase U are out here in their full force. Because if they lose tonight, the university is no more. And Tony D'Angelo will tear that place down to the ground and build whatever he wants to build there. And it's all the fault of Andre Chase, who hired the D'Angelo family to take out the intimidating Dexter Lumis, who actually teamed with Chase U tonight after a miscommunication over a Valentine's Day date with one of the Chase U students' hands with tongue. But of course there'd be no Chase U as it stands at all right now without the help of their latest recruit, their latest constable, Mr. Keith Lee.
Representing Chase University from Wichita Falls, Texas, weighing in at 343 pounds, Keith Lee!
nobody has had a more interesting year than Keith Lee. He actually lost his job at WWE at one point this year, when he was defeated in a losing WWE match by Bronson Steiner. But it was his undying quest for work stumbled him across a job working for Cheju, and of course they hit it off, and he's come to the help of Cheju on numerous occasions. So he's here, repping the red and black, ready to go to war for the place that gave him a second chance here in WWE. Of course, when you've got a former world heavyweight champion like this on your team, you know, you've got to strike fear into the eyes of the D'Angelo family. Because, you know, glasses and sweater aside, underneath all of that, it's an outstanding competitor in this ring. Underneath that is a former world heavyweight champion, an absolute animal in that ring. And, you know, you throw that in with the brains of Andre Chase, the trickiness of Shane Reynolds, and of course, the genuine, just off-putting presence of this man. You got one hell of a team.
And from Recluse, Wyoming, weighing in at 230 pounds, Dexter Lumis.
Of course, Dexter Lumis re-emerged 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, and he's of course got issues with the D'Angelo family after they tried to, for lack of a better term, whack him on that Valentine's Day date. And he now has to come to the aid of the man who actually organised that hit out on him, that being Andre Chase. As he has to come to the aid of Chase University now because Bodie Hayward is currently absent. And always an unsettling look from Dexter Lumis. But, you know, you've got to hope that we can trust this man. You know, the eyes tell you nothing. They say the eyes are the fucking key to the soul, but I don't think there's anything going on inside Dexter Lumis right now. But yes, he's very, very intimidating. But one thing is for sure, whether he does still harbor a grudge towards Andre Chase, I can name 4 people that he harbors an even bigger grudge against. Those being Channing Stacks Lorenzo, Troy 2 Times Donovan, Big Problem Cass, and the Don himself, Tony D'Angelo, and there is Chase U's front line. The core crew of Chase University that are going to war for the fate of the entire institution. Taking on SmackDown's Mafia to get it done.
Combined weight of 1,006 pounds, the D'Angelo family.
The D'Angelo family re-emerged on SmackDown following last year's WrestleMania. They've made quite the impact on the brand. You know, they've taken care of the old friends of Karrion Kross. They've taken care of other people along their way. You know, they do have a way of words and a way of getting what they ask for. That being Tony D'Angelo, the Don in the front, Stacks behind him, Big Cass behind him, and at the back, Troy 2 Times Donovan. Of course, Adriana Rizzo and Elektra Lopez, also part of this family. You gotta think they're coming out here to even the odds with Thea Hale, DKU, and Haley Poole for Andre Chase University. But the D'Angelo family look focused, and they look ready to keep a hold of what they believe is rightfully theirs, that is that land upon which Chase University is built. 63 is fine. It's not about the rating, it's about the actual match itself. I imagine there is some sort of no disqualification rules to this, so like there's themed weapons for like Chase U and the D'Angelo family, because I think the contrast would be fun. But yes, in the end, Andre Chase pins Tony D to save Andre Chase University. 64 for Dexter, 72 for Keith Lee, 56 for Shane Reynolds, 71 for Andre Chase, 44 for Troy Donovan, 48 for Stacks, 53 for Big Cass, and 54 for Tony D'Angelo. So yeah, shout out Andre Chase and Keith Lee doing the work here. And obviously you got Rizzo, Elektra, Thea, Haley, Hams and Morgan also getting involved, because they are out there, they're a part of this. And now it's time for a complete change of pace. We've had our cool down, we've had our fun. But we're now about to sit there and watch Edge's final wrestling match. And, yeah, he's against Christian. Christian turned on Edge back at SummerSlam, and he's been an insufferable dick ever since. But now it's time. Edge. Christian. One last time. Boos echoing around Philadelphia for this scumbag.
Making his way to the ring from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, weighing in at 212 pounds, Christian!
Of course, in the back you see the right hand of justice, Dijak, the former Intercontinental Champion. He lost his championship last night to Dominic Mysterio. He can't be happy, but he is out here with Christian because this is no holds barred. This is Edge, his final match in his WWE career, and it's against his former best friend of 40 years. I'm sure not in the situation and the circumstances upon which Edge had wished he'd be facing this man one-on-one in his final match at WrestleMania. But sometimes that's how life does be. As we await the final WrestleMania entrance of the Hall of Famer.
And his opponent from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, weighing in at 230 pounds.
25 years. All comes down to this moment. Edge, of course, his first WrestleMania appearance, 24 years ago at WrestleMania 2000. He teamed with who else? Christian, in that iconic ladder match. Tonight, it all comes to an end for the second time, but this time, Edge gets the final say on his retirement. This time, he goes out on his terms. This time, it's no holds barred. This time, Edge is in control. Yeah, 76. You know, because this match, in terms of the story, had to go long, but in the game, they don't really have the stamina for it. And yeah. You know, it's no holds barred. We're running back the Edge greatest hits. You know, there's a spear through a flaming table. Probably onto Dijak, actually. And, you know, Dijak's there, he pops up. Actually, no, not onto Dijak, because Dijak gets written out another way. So yeah, Christian would get speared through the flaming table. But that's not the finish, because it's not full count anyway. You got to get him back into the ring. And then, as he picks up Christian, tosses him back into the ring, that's when Dijak comes down, boots him in the face. And Dijak's getting his fucking ass involved in this match for no reason. You know, he's not even the Intercontinental Champion anymore. He failed Christian there, so I guess his only way to not fail is to make amends and help Christian defeat Edge in his final match here at WrestleMania. Christian spears Edge, he gets a 2. Dijak comes into the ring, he gets Edge up for Feast Your Eyes. When Randy Orton flies in, he RKOs Dijak. And then Dijak rolls to the outside. You know, he's on his hands and knees on the outside of the ring. Randy Orton punts Dijak in the head. And then Edge spears Christian. 1, 2, Christian kicks out. And then Edge, he grabs a steel chair, he hammers steel chair shots on Christian. And then in the end, he puts Christian's head on the chair on the floor. He grabs another steel chair. He concertos Christian. He slowly, drops to his knees, rolls him over, and covers him for the win. Edge, victorious in his last match. The second, he gets the free count and the bell rings, he sort of just, collapses to the floor, you know, getting emotional, holding back tears. WrestleMania 40. The Rated R Superstar, the WWE Hall of Famer, finally gets to end his career on his terms. You know, he got his dream final opponent. Not in the exact circumstance he'd have been hoping for. But it is tonight. It is the end of the line. The end of a road. A long, brutal road for Edge. After the match, Beth gets into the ring. Imagine she's front row. She gets into the ring. They hug. Randy Orton still lingering around. Christian slowly regaining consciousness. Edge, he's left his boots in the ring. That feels like an Edge thing to do. He takes the mic. He goes, Jay, we did it, man. We did it. You and I, we ended my career at WrestleMania. Now I know you've been a bit of a dick lately. But man, you're still my best friend. And if this is the last time you ever have to see me, then please, just do one more thing for me. You're my brother, Jay. So how about we give these people in Philadelphia one thing to remember us by? So Jay, and for the benefit of all of you with flash photography, one last time, Edge and Christian are going to hit a 5-second pose. Christian then gets in, he walks up towards Edge. He gives Edge a big hug, which gets a big pop. And they do hit a 5-second pose together. And, yeah, Christian, in a moment of weakness, hugs his best friend. And they do a 5-second pose. Randy Orton still lingering around as well. Dijak still down on the outside. Thank you, Edge. Off into the sunset he rides. He had another chance to chase a dream. And now tonight he is the man responsible for bringing that dream to an end. As with the mood has shifted here in Philadelphia, and we're still reeling from the final match of a WWE icon to what is promising to be a very quick and brutal war between two giants.
It's scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from New York City, weighing in at 249 pounds, Damian Priest.
This came all about rather quickly, Damian Priest, a couple of weeks ago, was alongside Bobby Lashley when Lashley answered the open challenge of Xavier for the TEW Championship. And obviously, he took that opportunity away from Lashley. He was the one who ended up getting the shot at CSJ, which Lashley would then cost him that opportunity. And ever since then, they've been brawling on site. They can't even share a locker room without getting into a fight. And tonight, it all comes down to this. Damian Priest, Bobby Lashley. Two of ECW's best going at it. Damian Priest, you gotta think the grand jury not too far behind him, that being Ken Kobain and Emerson Frost. But for Lashley, he may have to go alone tonight, because the Hurt Business are busy in Tag Team Championship action later on tonight. But the Almighty needs nobody else.
Representing the Hurt Business from Colorado Springs, Colorado, weighing in at 273 pounds, the almighty Bobby Lashley.
Well, you see, MVP, the leader of the Hurt Business, the mastermind behind the whole thing, Lashley and Ronnie Hughes and Damon Kemp, who are going to try and get WCW Tag Team Championships back later on tonight. But for Lashley, he doesn't need anyone else by his side. All he needs is a ring and himself, and he can inflict that pain upon anybody. Be it Damian Priest or anyone else who dares get in his way. Nice little calm down match. It wasn't very long at all. Bobby Lashley and Damian Priest have their little wild brawl. And yeah, it is Bobby Lashley who picks up the win. he spears Damian Priest in 8:45 to get a big win here at WrestleMania. 80 for Bobby, 87 for Priest. And yeah, it is what it is. It's the ECW mid-card match. It's a cool down after Edge's retirement. And Lashley with the big win here at WrestleMania.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Women's National Championship.
And this is about a lot more than just the Women's Liberty Championship. This is about finding out who runs Raw's Women's Division, who is the alpha female, who is that bitch. Rhea Ripley has a very interesting WrestleMania history. You know, she was challenged by Charlotte Flair back in 2020 after she won the Royal Rumble, back when Rhea was still the NXT Women's Champion. She won the Women's Battle Royal the following year, serving as her official call-up to the main roster. She then main evented WrestleMania 38 against Becky Lynch, becoming Raw Women's Champion. And last year, she defeated Sasha Banks in a very bitter grudge match. And tonight, she can have another championship to her legacy, because of course you're looking at a woman who's a former NXT UK, former NXT, former Raw Women's Champion. She's held just about every single piece of gold she can hold here in WWE, and tonight she looks to add the Liberty Championship to them ranks. Not somebody you ever want to be stepping across the ring from if you're in the women's division here in WWE, but if there's one woman who can probably go toe-to-toe with Mommy and live to tell the tale, it's this woman, the Liberty Champion, Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill, of course. Very important note that I'm yet to mention. Undefeated. Has never been beaten in WWE. Went 9-0 in the Mae Young Classic block. Won the entire tournament. Defeated Roxy Perez to win that championship at November Survivor Series. And has held on to it ever since. And I do not think it is a stretch whatsoever to say that this is by far her biggest challenge to date. So it's time to find out if Jade Cargill has what it takes on the grandest stage of them all to keep this undefeated streak going, to keep that Liberty Championship, and to put Mommy in her place here in Philadelphia. Only the second ever Liberty Championship match at WrestleMania. Of course, last year was Roxy Perez winning the title from Cora Jade. And now, from there to here.
Introducing the challenger from Adelaide, Australia, Rhea Ripley. And her opponent from Miami, Florida, the Women's National Champion, Jade Cargill.
It almost is too tough to call, because if you see either women's name on the marquee, that's the person you circle. That's the person you put your money on winning. But when they're both up against each other, who knows who's going to come out on top. Okay. So again, I need to explain what's happening here before I get into any of the semantics about it. Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley. There was definite lack of psychology on display, and had the match had a tendency to drift a little. Okay, game. We'll get into why that's silly. So, the battle to decide who the biggest alpha woman is in the Raw Women's Division for the Liberty Championship. You know, Jade debuted back at SummerSlam, won the belt at Survivor Series after winning the Mae Young Classic, and here she is tonight in the ring with Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. And the bell rings, and the two women have a stare down. Jade shoves Rhea. Rhea shoves Jade back. Jade then slaps Rhea. Rhea punches Jade back. And then, Malcolm Bivens is at ringside. And he's cheering Jade. Like, goes, yeah, that's it. You don't mess with that bitch, Jade Cargill. When Bivens is, like, grabbed from under the ring. And he's pulled under the ring. And Jade's all looks forward and goes, what the hell is that? What the hell's happening? And, yeah. She goes to get outside to check. When she's hit from under the ring by Tatum Paxley, she then turns into a riptide. And Rhea Ripley pins Jade Cargill in about 3 minutes to win the WWE Championship. 70 rating for the match, because it wasn't very long. 97 for Rhea, 72 for Jade. So what and why has happened here? Swell. Jade is off to film either a TV role or a movie role. She leaves shortly after WrestleMania. And I'd forgotten. By the time I'd already announced Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill, I'd forgotten that she was leaving. So when it got closer to Mania, I was like, well, oh fuck, I've booked her in a WrestleMania match that I want her to go over in. And I can't have her lose because, Rhea can't win the belt because she's a major star. So something had to give. And I decided the best way is to, prolong the actual first match a little bit longer and do the squash tonight, which does mean that I backed myself into a corner by forgetting that Jade was going away to film a movie, and somebody who's above well known in terms of perception has just won a mid-card title, so I will have to take a punishment for it, but it's my own ineptitude that led me to this moment, so I just booked it in and went, yeah, it's what I deserve, probably. But, more importantly, Tatum Paxley has been stalking Rhea Ripley for weeks, and Rhea sort of been not pleased with it, but tonight she came in helpful. So tonight, she's good. Bloodline. Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso. Triple threat match, ECW Championship. Who will be the ECW champion? Who will be the head of this bloodline? It's time to find out here in Philadelphia. ECW Championship time. Bloodline family drama at its highest level. Who will be head of the table? Who will be the ECW World Champion?
The following contest is a triple threat match and is for the ECW Championship. Introducing the challenger from San Francisco, California, weighing in at 242 pounds.
And there he is, the fan favorite in this match. Jey Uso's got Philadelphia rocking here tonight as he looks to finally come out on top over his cousin and his brother to become ECW champion with his first ever piece of singles gold here in WWE. He thought he had it won back at the Elimination Chamber, but no, an interference from Jimmy Uso put pay to that. But tonight, there'll be no interference from Jimmy Uso because Jimmy Uso is in the match. So Jey, he needs to try and maybe have an extra pair of eyes on the back of his head, because you cannot trust either man up against him. Roman Reigns, the original man who broke Jey down, forcing him to leave his own family bloodline alongside his twin brother Jimmy, only for Jimmy to later double-crush Jey.
And introducing the challenger from San Francisco, California, weighing in at 251 pounds. Jimmy
Uso explained his betrayal of his twin brother, saying that he saw what happened to his cousin Roman Reigns. He does not want that to happen to Jay. And while you may think that that's kind of commendable, Jimmy has very quickly decided, well, you know, maybe that can't be true. Maybe there's more to it than that. Because Jimmy himself wants that ECW Championship. Which I guess means he thinks it won't happen to him. He thinks he's stronger than Jay. Which of course has led to the obvious dissension between the two former twin brothers who have been together since the womb. Driven apart by a combination of the ECW Championship and their own cousin, who claims to be a family man but is actually an egomaniac, tyrannical leader who will stop at nothing to keep a hold of his power and his championship. And I'm of course referring to this individual. There he is, flanked by Solo Sikoa and, of course, the newest WWE Hall of Famer, the wise man Paul Heyman. Always a sight to see in Philadelphia, that man. But Roman Reigns won that championship back at Holiday Hell in December from Warden, thanks to the help of Solo Sikoa, who rejoined the Bloodline. The one positive that I can give Jimmy Uso in this whole ordeal is that he did not rejoin the cousin who he swore to take down all those months ago.
Introducing the champion, representing the Bloodline, from Pensacola, Florida, weighing in at 265 pounds, the ECW Champion, Roman Reigns!
Of course, I bring that up because you do see Solo Sikoa to the right of the ECW Champion. Solo Sikoa, a man who cost Roman the WWE Championship almost 2 years ago to Seth Rollins and Clash at the Castle when he first made his debut on the main roster. A man who swore to take the Bloodline down by aligning with Seth Rollins, has seemingly abandoned all of his ordeals, and now stands side by side with his tribal chief once again. So at the very least, I can commend Jimmy by not backtracking in that regard. But just about everything else Jimmy Uso does is despicable. And of course, when it comes to despicable, there can be nobody more despicable than this man, the tribal chief himself, who will do whatever it takes to keep a hold of that championship and his legacy and his spot at the head of the table. But of course, this is a bit unfamiliar territory for Roman Reigns, because he did get pinned back at the Royal Rumble by Jey Uso, which entitled him to that match at the Elimination Chamber, upon which Jimmy showed his true colours. And Roman Reigns, for the second straight year, enters a World Championship triple threat match on the grandest stage of them all. He was unsuccessful in last year's main event. Can he defend that gold tonight? The ones in the sky, because, you know, as much as a lot of people may hate this man, he does sure have a lot of people who do acknowledge him as their tribal chief. But tonight, other people may have no choice but to bow down to greatness on a different level if he can prove that he is the very best in his family. He proves that he can emerge victorious against both Jimmy and Jey here tonight. It's always a different feeling when this man makes his way down to the ring at WrestleMania. When this man enters an arena, you know shit's going down. Let's not forget, ECW, a brand created specifically by its old mastermind Paul Heyman, specifically created as an avenue to let Roman Reigns rule atop with an iron fist after he was banished from SmackDown when he and the Usos lost. 90, yeah, whatever. So, Roman's coming out with Solo by his side. Solo's a SmackDown guy, but this is WrestleMania. We're not being separated by pesky brand splits around here. SmackDown guys can show up at WrestleMania, so can ECW guys. It's fine. Yeah. So, and it's no disqualification, so Solo can get involved, which does lead to a spot where Solo gets into the ring. He spikes Jimmy. He takes Jimmy down. And then him and Roman hit that spear and Samoan spike combo on Jay. Roman pins Jay, and Jay kicks out of it. And then Jay tries his hardest to fight off Solo and Roman at the same time. He throws super kicks at both of them, but they just keep coming. One man isn't enough to take them both down. That's when Jimmy gets to his feet in the corner, and he has to run in. He has to super kick Solo as Jay super kicks Roman, and then they double super kick Solo Sikoa. And then they have to temporarily align once again. They hit the 1D on Solo Sikoa to wipe him out. And then, Jimmy and Jay sort of look at each other, and then as Jay goes to turn around, Jimmy goes to super kick Jay. Jay ducks it. He super kicks Jimmy himself. Jimmy falls to his knees. He super kicks Jimmy again. Jimmy rolls to the outside. He turns around. Roman Reigns is rushing at him with a spear. He super kicks Roman as he goes for the spear. He hits him again. Roman's down. He then bounces off the ropes, hits a spear on Roman Reigns of his own. And then he hits that Uso splash. And Jey Uso is the ECW champion. Big pop. Imagine he's by far the fan favorite. His entrance, I know it's not like how it was in the game, but the My WrestleMania stage would have a platform above it, there'd be a skyline platform, but there'd be stairs where you can go up on top of where it says the WrestleMania rating, and he just stood up there, waving his arms up in the air in his entrance. That got Philly hyped, but Philly's even more hyped now because their man, main event Jey Uso, is officially in the main event of ECW. He's their world champion. 88 for both Usos, 97 for Roman Reigns. And Jey has just pinned the tribal chief at WrestleMania. And Jey Uso is the ECW world champion. What an era. What a new era of ECW we've got. Florence is the champion. Jey Uso is the champion. Kyle O'Reilly's the television champion. And the tag champions, we haven't found out yet. They're coming up next. They're the penultimate match of the evening. The cool down match, as you will. But yep, there he is. Yeet! The link's rocking as Jey Uso waves his belt up in the air. New ECW World Champion. It's time for our penultimate match here at WrestleMania 40, our penultimate championship match at that. And here come two former champions looking to reclaim glory here on the grandest stage.
The following contest is a fatal four-way tag team match and is for the ECW World Tag Team Championship. Introducing first, at a combined weight of 494 pounds, Damon Kim and Ronnie Hughes, the Hurt Business.
The Hurt Business became the inaugural champions of this lineage of the ECW Tag Team Championships when they won a tournament back at High Voltage in October. In the finals, they were victorious over the team of Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander, the same duo who would go on to take their championships just last month. So tonight, Ronnie Hughes and Damon Kemp, who saw Bobby Lashley earlier on tonight, emerge victorious. Can they do the same and win back gold and bring championship gold back to the Hurt Business? Or will it be time for one of the other teams to maybe reign atop this tag team division, including a very, very powerful alliance That alliance, of course, held by one of the dangerous, scariest men to ever step into a professional wrestling ring. That being the Murder Grandpa himself, Minoru Suzuki.
And from Yokohama, Japan, weighing in at 225 pounds, Minor Suzuki.
It will never be strange, never not be strange, seeing Minoru Suzuki, of all people, make his way down to the ring at a WrestleMania. But here he comes. You know, it takes a lot for somebody in there, such a veteran like Suzuki, to immediately make an impact in WWE, but such is the presence and the dangerousness and the fear that the Murder Grandpa strikes into the heart of anybody that he may be posing the ring from, or even teaming with. Just like he was whipping into shape Shinsuke Nakamura and Aoi Maikawa of Ichiban, as well as Meiko Satomura and later Yoko Orihara. But tonight, they have a chance to become ECW's Tag Team Champions and bring that strong style to ECW and reign as its Tag Team Champions on the show with all the international flair on it. Two Japanese legends reigning as champion would be very, very appropriate, if I say so myself. But of course, even though there are a lot of times where you feel like Suzuki could take on two men by himself, he is only 50% of the Ichiban puzzle alongside this man. Shinsuke Nakamura, an established veteran of WrestleMania. You know, he once won a Royal Rumble, a WWE Championship match at this event. He's been in multiple Tag Team Championship matches at this event. He's been in United States Championship matches at this event. And tonight he teams with a respected veteran tag team partner of his to hopefully try and bring home ECW Tag Team Championship gold. Of course, the king of strong style, you know, very fitting member of the ECW roster, would love to team up with the veteran of the North Seeking and win championship gold. And you have to look at them potentially on paper as the favourites going into this match, you know, just because of who they are and what they've accomplished, both overseas and stateside in Nakamura's case. But again, this is a fatal four-way match, so the champions only have to be factored into the decision when it comes to the championship's future.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Do you believe? I sure do. Talk about a throwback here tonight.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 620 pounds, Braun Strowman and Joe Hendry.
In the same cart that the most famous legendary giant in wrestling history, Andre the Giant, once was scooted down to the ring with for his infamous match with Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 3 that changed the landscape of professional wrestling as we know it. At the 40th WrestleMania, the monster of all monsters himself carted down to the ring alongside the prestigious one, Joe Hendry. Joeman, of course, aligned in the fall during Joe Hendry's rivalry with Matt Cardona and Carl Hawkins. You know, they said, you're all brains and no brawn. And he said, well, that's silly, because I have brawn right here. And now, Joemen, as they call themselves, are a force in the tag team division. A WrestleMania throwback entrance to one of the greatest, most memorable matches in WWE history. Joemen, Joe Hendry and Braun Strowman, the fans waving their hands from side to side here in the link. Could tonight be the night that Hendry and Strowman take home Tag Team Championship gold? Of course, individually, we're looking at Braun Strowman, we're looking at the size of this man, like 7 feet, we're looking at 300 plus pounds. You're thinking if this comes down to it, can any one individual in this match pin Braun Strowman? But of course, it's not all about size, it's about heart, it's about soul. And those two things are bodied imperfectly in our champions, who are responsible in many ways for this match even taking place here tonight. Heyman left the responsibility up to them. And there are the ECW Tag Team Champions.
And at a combined weight of 382 pounds, Muda Ali and Cedric Alexander.
What's up for Ali? You know, he's had a very interesting WrestleMania past. You know, back at WrestleMania 34, these two bonded. They formed a lifelong, career-long bond over defending the Cruiserweight Champion on the pre-show that night. Mustafa Ali has gone on to have many big matches at WrestleMania, including matches with Triple H, John Cena, Kurt Angle, and many, many more. But tonight, he's defending the Tag Team Championships. He's now officially a Grand Slam champion here in WWE. And him and Cedric Alexander look to take the Tag Team division on ECW to new heights. And take on 3 of the best teams that ECW has to offer, and looking to walk out of Philadelphia still ECW Tag Team Champions. $75. Yeah, that's pretty fun. You know, nice cool down match for the main event. ECW's tag division, Mustafa Ali, Cedric Alexander against the Hurt Business, against Ichiban, against Joeman. And I know who the sentimental favourites are heading into this match. It's Joeman. We all want Joeman to win this match. And in 30 minutes, well, 12:56 to be precise, the winners of this match and still ECW Tag Team Champions. Mustafa Ali pins Damon Kemp with the 054. And yeah, Cedric and Ali keep a hold of the ECW Tag Team titles here at WrestleMania. 82 for Cedric, 86 for Mustafa Ali, 75 for Damon Kemp, 77 for Ronnie Hughes, 61 for Minoru Suzuki, 73 for Shinsuke Nakamura, and a 76 for both members of Joeman. Boo. I'm sorry. First he didn't do a WrestleMania song, and now this. God, I'm burying the fuck out of this man. How could I do such a thing? But yes, heart and soul remain the heart and soul of ECW's tag team division. Triple H comes out, you know, just a quick segment before the main event, goes over the attendances, you know, what a record-breaking WrestleMania, you know, biggest WrestleMania of all time, 40 years of WrestleMania, and next year, you know, it's going to be even bigger when wherever WrestleMania comes to, because we haven't told you yet, because we haven't decided, and there's Triple H coming out to rile the crowd up ahead of the main event. Which is how we got here, but more specifically, the history of the Four Horsewomen. From NXT to the main roster to Mania 32 to beyond. Every single one of these women is main evented WrestleMania before. Becky twice. And who will come out on top? Who will be the face of this women's revolution? Who will be the greatest of all time? It's main event time. The final match of WrestleMania 40. 10 years worth of revolution. 10 years worth of build-up for 4 very important individuals here in the women's division.
The following contest is a fatal 4-way match and is for the WWE Women's Championship. Introducing the challenger from San Jose, California, Bayley.
Now, believe it or not, Bayley was the very last 4 horsewomen to main event WrestleMania. She did so last year. She defended the SmackDown Women's Championship against Candice LeRae, who lost on the night, but she did get to check WrestleMania main event off her bucket list. And here's the thing, tonight, she becomes the first ever woman in the history of WrestleMania to main event back-to-back years. That's something that you can never, ever take away from Bayley. So a lot of people look at her as the underdog for the night. They say there's no chance she's the one who gets out of WWE champion. But she does have 2 back-to-back WrestleMania main events on her resume. So, you know, she must be doing something right to get that. And speaking of second ever WrestleMania main events, this is number 2 also for the Queen.
And introducing the challenger from the Queen City,
Charlotte Flair, of course, alongside Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey 5 years ago, became the first women to ever main event WrestleMania. And tonight, she enters the main event of WrestleMania for the 2nd time. Last year, she entered this pay-per-view WrestleMania 39 as the Raw Women's Champion. She left with the Raw Women's Championship, you know, the then-formed rural dynasty of her and Ariana Grace and Ava Raine. Helped her to overcome Nova Nebula on the night. But now, in the last year, the only women who have held that WWE Championship and aren't Rhea Ripley have been members of the 4 Horsewomen. That's the level of dominance. That's the level of revolutionary we're talking about when we talk about these 4 individuals specifically. Because without these 4, there'd be no women's revolution. Without these 4, you know, women, who knows where they'd be in the sport. You're looking at the 4 figureheads of change here in WWE, and in many ways, with all her Unleashed Championship rings under her belt, that woman, Charlotte, considers herself at the head of it all. Well, you know what time it is here in the main event of WrestleMania.
And introducing the challenger from Boston, Massachusetts,
It was Sasha Banks of Bianca Belair. Back at WrestleMania 37, they made history. They became the very first 2 black women to main event the grandest stage no more. So that means Sasha Banks tonight, as she makes her way down to the main event of WrestleMania, becomes the first ever black woman to main event 2 WrestleMania events. And that, of course, is historic in more ways than one. But Sasha Banks, you know, has not got the record where she lost her WrestleMania main event. In fact, of all the 3 women we've seen here tonight, they've all had one prior WrestleMania main event, but not a single WrestleMania main event victory between them. So, one of them will be hoping to get their first hit tonight, but at least 2 of them are going to go over 2 when the lights are on brightest, as well as they can possibly be in this industry, which is not something that you really want to have on your resume. But when we talk about WrestleMania main event winners, there's one woman who has done all that and more, and that's the champion. Here are the stats we're looking at with this one right here. For the first time ever, a woman is making her way down to main event a 3rd WrestleMania. Like he main evented WrestleMania 35 with Ronda and Charlotte, and at 38 with Rhea Ripley.
from Dublin, Ireland, the WWE Women's Champion, Becky Lynch.
I'm also looking at the only woman in this match who has ever won the main event of WrestleMania, again doing that 5 years ago at WrestleMania 35. Also looking at a woman, Becky Lynch, since WrestleMania 35 where she won the main event, she's only appeared on one WrestleMania show where she was not in the main event, because she missed WrestleMania 37 and 39 due to pregnancy. But she's main evented 38, and she's main eventing here tonight. That is what we call the greatest of all time. But to be called the greatest of all time, you have to win this match. The main event of WrestleMania 40. 85, apparently, because Charlotte sustained a bruised eye socket, and that ruined the whole match. I love this game. It's really, really, really good, you know, and that was a really good thing that it did, and it would definitely really ruin a match. I understand why TEW, when Charlotte bruised her eye socket, decided to throw the whole match around up into disarray at that point, because I understand. Like, imagine if someone got a bruised eye socket in a real wrestling match. Like, imagine how badly that would throw everything off. You know, they would never be able to just get on and just continue the match with it. You know, everything would have to come to a halt, because you can't be letting such dangerous shit like that go on in a wrestling ring. Anyway, ranting aside, yeah. Bayley, Charlotte, Sasha, Becky. 4 horsewomen. Main event of WrestleMania 40. It's so poetic, it's almost like it's scripted. But yes, Becky comes in as the champion. Her 3rd WrestleMania main event. Sasha, Charlotte, and Bayley, their 2nd. Bayley's 2nd in a row, in fact. And, you know, all 4 women among the greatest of all time in their own regard, but who is going to come out on top? You know, it was Sasha who won the match back in NXT. Nobody really thinks Bayley can win this, and Charlotte and Becky, you can never count either of them out. It's Fatal 4-Way, you know, got all sorts of chaotic action. Big Charlotte moonsault to the outside. Becky hits a leg drop off the barricade to Charlotte through the announce table. That wipes out Charlotte. You know, Sasha goes up top, she just hit a frog splash, she like gives a little Eddie Guerrero shuffle. When Bayley springs to life, she jumps up onto the top rope. And Sasha fights her off. She like shoves Bayley down. And then Sasha turns around like she's going to hit a moonsault or something. When Bayley flies up again. And she hits that reverse avalanche poison Rana. The same one she hit back at Brooklyn. Onto Sasha Banks. She then gets all fired up. She grabs Sasha. She hits her with a rose plant. And Bayley pins Sasha Banks to win the WWE Women's Championship. You know, like, as we get to the 2 count, you see Becky, like, fly into the ring to break the pin up. But she comes too short, and she's just there, like, you know, in shock and defeat, watching Bayley to score the 3 count. And she's done it. Nobody thought she could win. She's been everyone's 4th horsewoman for many years. But tonight, she's no longer the bridesmaid. She is the bride. She is the belle of the ball. Bayley is the WWE Women's Champion. 89 for Bayley, 90 for Sasha, 90 for Becky, and Charlotte gets an 84 because, you know, bruising her eye socket really fucked up her game. And then WrestleMania 40 goes off the air. Bayley's, you know, holding the belt. No, Bayley's not holding the belt up yet. She's celebrating. She's crying. You know, this is an emotional moment. The horsewomen have done it. They main evented WrestleMania. When Becky snatches the belt off the referee as he goes to hand it to Bayley. And Becky sort of looks at it in her hands. Looks across at Bayley. And she looks like she's going to hit Bayley with the belt. She sort of just looks down, shakes her head, and hands the belt over to Bayley and hugs Bayley to a big pop. They hold up their 4 horsewomen hand signs. Charlotte gets into the ring. And they sort of both look at Charlotte awkwardly. Charlotte looks around at the crowd cheering on Becky and Bayley. And Charlotte also breaks down. She joins the hug and the 3 of them hug. And they all turn to Sasha in the corner. Sasha just got to her feet because Sasha's still pissed off, you know. And Bayley's there with the championship over her shoulder. They're all holding up their 4 horsewomen hands. Sasha slowly swaggers over to them. She looks across at Bayley in disgust. Before she does eventually join in to an even bigger pop. And they all hold up their 4 horsewomen hand signs. Bayley holds up the title. Pyro goes off. And I can't think of a more fitting way to close out WrestleMania 40 than with arguably the 4 women who have caused such a revolution over the last 10 years. Closing out WrestleMania in a fatal 4-way match. Thank you, Philadelphia. You know, it sure would have been nice for this even more poetic ending if we had 2 women's main events, but, yeah, what do I know? But, yes, so ends WrestleMania. I'll see you next year for wherever the fuck they announce WrestleMania 41 is going to be, because we don't know yet. But for now, Bayley reigns supreme as the WWE Women's Champion. 97. Couldn't even get a 100 on this show because of that fucking bruised eye socket. But yes, that ends WrestleMania 40. That ends the 4th WrestleMania of this save. And that ends Season 8 of the Challenged Run. Over 500 episodes, over 900 subscribers. You know, we're in here now. Like, but I remember back when I first did 2016 Challenge Run, it sort of just died after SummerSlam because I got lazy and just went, oh fuck it. No, we're in here now. Like, this is a thing. 4 years of lore. But yeah. Season 8, I'll go over this more in the next video when it's, you know, State of the Universe. But, like, very interesting season. Like I said, I think WrestleMania 39 might still be my magnum opus personally. But I did also like the build of this Mania. You know, a lot of the shit really hit with me. And I've still got a lot of stuff to get to in the road to Mania 41. Don't you worry about it. But for now, I guess thank you all so much for everything. And I'll see you next time for State of the Universe, i.e. the goal-setting episode. Because that's your favourite time of the year. It's like Christmas to you guys. And yeah, see you then.